Hey guys, what's up? Yeah. Obviously, we all know what the news is going on right now. Most of us are kind of tied into it. With me doing a channel and everything, I kind of get emails and stuff from all different directions. So I kind of hear a lot of things and I try to vet out the information as much as I can. I will limit the political talk to a very, very minimal thing here on my channel. But with as big of an event as this, I think anybody that has a channel really has a responsibility to talk a little bit about it, at least give some news on what's actually happening and what's going on, because you're not going to get 100% anything anywhere, really. But you're going to get more so from the alternative sites than what you're going to get from mainstream. And I would just caution people to really step back and look and wait before they start making a decision on what they think is actually happening. Okay? I'm not going to go into any kind of detail or anything like that, but I will say that there's a lot of things going on that's not being talked about on mainstream. And I'm seeing ground reports of stuff that's been sent to me that, I mean, it's visually right there in my face. Okay? So there's no, I don't know how I want to put this. There's no really questioning whether or not what I was looking at is fake or real or whatever. It was in my face. But I'm not saying any of that because that's not what this channel is about, and I know that. But I do think that me just being an American, just like most of us that are in here, I have a little bit of a responsibility to let everybody know that there are things happening that you're not going to see. At least not if you're just tuning into the main networks. Yes, you're going to get a lot of good visuals and stuff right now because yes, this is a big deal. Okay, this is huge. This should not be happening. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. But you see my thumbnail, that is true. Our leader of our nation, his Twitter account was suspended. And, there's a lot of reasons why. But that is what it is, I'm not going to go into what I think about on any of that because, frankly, my political views don't matter. It doesn't matter to anybody but me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have my own views and I have my own thoughts on what's going on. But like I said, just because I'm in this kind of genre of what I talk about, with going against mainstream a little bit with what I do with space weather, you have to understand that I get a lot of different emails, a lot of different just information sent to me from people that are tied to this stuff quite often. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff I never even bring it to you guys. Okay, and like I said, I understand everybody's here for the space weather, but I let's just be real about it. What is in our face right now? So what I'm going to say is, I only put that in there so everybody knows that's what's actually going on. That is a true thing that's happening. His account was suspended. He can't, and there's a lot of reasons why that could be happening. I think we all know. I do. I mean, I think we all have our own opinions on why this, that, and the other. But I'm not going to, give my opinion on any of that. That's for you guys to decide. I'm just going to tell you what I see. And that's exactly what's going on. So, but again, like I said, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to report on the space weather. We're going to go over that first, okay? Is everybody buffering? Somebody let me know. If everybody's buffering, I want to fix that. Somebody give me a yes, no, maybe, that kind of thing, if you could. No buffering on some of you? Okay. Again, guys, if it's not all you guys, then I know it's not my connection. All right. Just so everybody, I just want to make sure that I'm not buffering to everybody. Because I don't have a whole lot of stuff running right now, and I did that on purpose. Okay. But I did want to address what was going on a little bit first, okay? So just know that that's actually happening. It's really kind of a breaking news kind of thing. I'm not going to put breaking news on my titles. You guys know I don't do that. But they did suspend his account, and they actually deleted a couple of his tweets. I don't know why. I have my own opinions and stuff, but you guys can go look at that for yourself, okay? Now, what I am going to do right now is show you a channel that I found that I think you guys would be better off knowing that this channel exists. Okay, this guy, it's Watch with Wayne. All right, a couple of you guys went over there yesterday, but he's live right now. Okay, and he's only got about 1,000. He's got 1,000 people watching right now. He's got like 1,000 people watching right now. Okay, I'll push play here, but he does. He will stream. He sits there and he talks to the audience. He shows live streams. He's trying to report on news and stuff. So if I was you guys, this is a really good alternative place to go to check out what's going on. Okay, I haven't personally talked to Wayne before. His channel it's fairly new. He's got like 15,000 subs. For whatever reason, it jumped up like 1,000 overnight. So I sent some people over there yesterday. So I'm hoping that you guys will go over there and tell him, hey, I'm from Wages World, and we're here to support what you're doing here, and just listen, right? So again, my channel is not about anything political, and that's why I'm not going to go deep into it. Okay. My opinion on what's going on is I think it's completely ridiculous. I don't think any of this should be happening. I think it all could have been avoided. A woman is dead. Okay, yes, it's probably her own fault. I get that. But the fact of the matter is that all of this could have been avoided from both sides. And I think a lot of us forget that. We want to go one side and stay there. It's just not, when people are losing their lives, and this is the worst event we've had on our capital since the British burned it down. So just take that for whatever it's worth, okay? You guys run with that however you want. But what I want to say is, guys, I will say this, that I was sent sent a pic, and I'm not going to say who sent it to me. You guys know who it is, but it's up to them to share that if they want to. That I can tell you this right now, that there is not just Trump supporters that stormed the Capitol. There's actual pictorial evidence of left-wing radicals also that were there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Just know that. So you guys will be able to find that yourself. I don't have to show it to you. So that's what I would say, okay? And I'm going to stop the political stuff. But go over here and sub up to Watch with Wayne, if you could. I really think that you guys would be a lot better off, a lot better for it. I'm going to give him a like on that, by the way. He's a real down-to-earth dude, and he runs this live stream. He'll stay live, just showing you, current stuff that's going on, and he interacts with everybody, okay? He interacts with people in the chat. Palm Mom, you're right over the target right there. That's who was in there too, okay? If you guys want to go read what Palm Mom said right there. Those people are inside our capital, were inside our capital also. So, thank you, Seaglass. I think you guys will, let him know that I sent you over there. I really think that he does a really good job. So, and I like to support people that are, not not large yet, but they still have a very loyal following, and they're real in what they're saying and what they're doing. He's not going to push you one direction or the other, and I think that he has political leanings, but he's not going to force that on people. That's what I've got from watching him before, and so yeah, that's what I would do if I was you guys. I think it's a good alternative other than what we typically see on TV. And obviously tonight on Mark Pyers, we're probably going to talk about it. All of it. Okay? I mean, it's real talk. That's what he does, right? So we're going to be over there too. I'm not sure exactly what time. I talked to Mark earlier today. He was doing some work and stuff and was on his way home. So I'm not sure what time he's going to actually be able to get online or whatever. But we are going to move on to the space weather real quick, okay? And you guys are welcome to talk about whatever you want in the chat. But please, especially with subjects like this, you know, if you have to back down a little bit, please do it. Just don't get in a fight in there tonight. I mean, we got enough of that crap going on right now. And I'm not saying that you guys will. I just know with this subject, and this is one of the reasons I don't usually talk about it, it's very polarizing, and people get really, really upset. And rightfully so sometimes. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and Candace, and again, yeah. I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm a conservative at heart, okay? But I'm a realist too. And what that means is that I'm able to look at both sides. And I do think that, you know, a lot of what happened was not right. But also a lot of what happened today could have been avoided. So I really think that there's fault on both sides, and I think that we all have to understand and recognize that to some level. I mean, come on, guys. And I'll say one more thing before I move on. This weekend, and I was talking to my wife and my daughter about this, they played White House Down, Olympus Has Fallen, and all those kinds of movies. They played them back to back to back to back for like 2 days in a row. They continuously played those movies. And I was like, you know, and yes, we know that the confirmation was coming, but what's that doing to us? What's that doing to us subconsciously if you're not really aware of what's going on? It's affecting us. It affects me. It affects you. Even if you don't want to say that it doesn't, it's still planting little seeds in your mind if you're listening to it. So just know that that is probably not an accident. It was probably done that way on purpose. I mean, how can it not? Yeah. So I'm going to move on. We're going to talk about the space weather because there is space weather to talk about. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. I hope everybody's having a great day, by the way. You know, that's one thing that we all can do, and that's stay positive, no matter what's going on around us. We can't control what other people are doing and what they've done, but we can still stay positive and be there for each other. Anyway, what's up, Ordinary? Mick, Robert, Julie, DeGemma, Purple, Daniel, Angela, Rebo, what's up, bud? Medicine, good to see you. There you go, I like that. Canadian Patriot, awesome. Heaven's Gems, the Gemma again, Starfire, hey, yep, I know you're here for the Sun News, we're getting there. Candace, hello? William, Jeff, Seaglass, Wayne, IQ, Jack, Robert Paul. Yeah. So, anyway, we are going to move on. And I hope you guys understand that, like I said, guys, I'm not going to go any more into that political thing right now. I just don't do that here. And that's why I showed you guys Wayne's channel. Actually, I'll post his link in there again. If you guys could, please, just do me a favor. Go over there and check that out. I think, and tell him, say, hey, Wages World sent me. And maybe he'll check out my channel. I don't know. My intent is just to give you guys another avenue to go look at. That's all. Thanks, third time. Good to see you. Did they cut the feeds? Yeah. Well, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. But, yeah, it is. Yeah, we're updating. I'm going to go ahead and go with the space weather thing now. So, we're going to move. All right. Human resonance. It's not really doing a whole lot. Okay? Matter of fact, it's right here. And we're having a little bit of spiking. Nothing big. So, that is what it is, If you guys are kind of feeling a little off today, maybe that could be it. I don't know. But, again, this touches everything. It is everything. But I'm not seeing any kind of big spiking, anything way crazy on here. So, just know that. Space weather. Now, we've been talking about this predicted solar storm, right? And you remember what I said yesterday, guys? That, last time they were wrong. And it looks as though they maybe have been wrong again. Well, I don't want to call it wrong. You're welcome, Jill. Good to see you. Hey, Axe, what's up, bud? But as you see this, okay, this is when the first filament, in my opinion, arrived. Now, it looks like these two CMEs, they kind of combined and got swallowed up by a solar wind stream from a coronal hole. So it almost all became one thing. But there was fluctuation, which was kind of indicating that they were still impacting at different times. Now, what I will say here is you can see the solar X-ray flux. It actually looked like it was really getting really low. I mean, I haven't seen it this low in a long time. I don't know what's going on with that. I know we don't have any sunspots facing Earth right now, but yeah, the Schumann's down, guys. At least that one tool is. The one I just showed you. Because we're further along than right here. It's about 8 o'clock where I'm at, about 7:30. You can add 5 hours to that. So that would put me into the 7th. So this is it hasn't updated for a few. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It could be whatever reasons, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a good answer for you there. But for whatever reason, the X-ray kind of dipped down. I mean, really, really far. And then kind of went back up. Hey, Rip, what's up, bud? Yeah, I know, man. For sure, bud. Hey, send me or email me at bluecool52@gmail, Rip. I think you've emailed me before. I want to get with you, man. I want to have you on my show if you're willing to do that. I want to get you. I'm going to get Ricky. I'm going to get Ron in here too and talk about some prepping stuff. And I think we can help some of my listeners and everything. So hit me up on my email, man. Anyway, you guys should go sub up to Rip. He does really good work over there, guys. So, but anyway, again, you can tell right here we kind of got the first initial blast from that, and then it kind of died back off, and then it almost got into storm level again. So, I come over here, and I'm looking at the predictions, and it looks like they changed things a little bit. They started to, I don't know why this thing isn't updating right here. Here it is. Yesterday, if you remember, they were predicting the G1 part of it to be at between the 3rd and 6th hour of the day. So they really pushed that back. And now that G1 part, the KP of 5, that time has elapsed also. It never got off of 1. So I don't know why they're still predicting that. I don't know what's going on here with their predictions. They're definitely wrong. Cool. That's cool, Randy. That's awesome. But yeah. Yeah, I've been watching Wayne here I just found him a couple weeks ago, guys. Again, I'll put his link in there. He's a really down-to-earth guy. He's very honest and genuine. You can tell he cares. And he's just trying to do his thing, and I appreciate that. And he reports on the political stuff, so guys, go over and check him out. I mean, really. But anyway, the predictions here were incorrect. So, yeah. That's cool. Cool. Thanks, Missing. But as you see this, you know, look at that. A G1. Why? I mean, why? And it didn't even get off a 1. That's really way off. And so we go down here and we look at the first look at the sun here, and you know we got a coronal hole here, but it's not very big. We're not going to get much weather from that. But we had 2 different blasts from the sun, and I'll show them to you here in just a second. But notice how the phi angle, now you see the blacked out area here? That is a satellite blackout time that was expected, okay? They knew that was going to happen. It happens all the time. Same here. All right, it's line of sight. It prevents them from getting the data. All right, they can't do anything about that. You'll notice that it rotates sometimes because it all depends on where the satellites are at and how they're orbiting the Earth. So you'll see how they don't always happen at the exact same time every day, because they're not orbiting the Earth at the same speed the Earth is rotating. They're not orbiting the Earth right on the equator. Some of the new ones, the swarm satellites, they're actually going north to south. They're rotating up down instead of horizontal, if you want to talk about polarity. So cool. Thanks, Kathleen. Is there a sunspot coming over the whim in a few days? Over the limb? Yeah, probably. We'll take a look at that in just a second on the other satellite view here. But you can tell here on the Enlil spiral model too. You know, right now we are right about here in time. So even this model is saying we should be seeing higher density. And we're not. What we're seeing is extremely low density, to the point where it dropped out below 1. I mean, that's pretty far down to 1 anyway. So I'm not understanding what's going on there, is what I'm trying to say. But we also seen right here, you had kind of like a little small uptick in solar wind speed and temperature here. But when it came back on, the density is starting to rise back up. Here, let me do that first. The density is starting to go back up, but the speed's starting to come back down. And that's usually what we see, especially with solar wind streams from a coronal hole. That isn't usually what we see with like CMEs. CMEs, you'll just get blasted. Now, something else I want to point out. Look at this. See the BZ? Notice back here where it was getting into the negative. And it was pretty far into the negative. We're talking 10, 15. Anything below like -6 is what we should be looking for. This is right on neutral, man. I mean, the angle of it is not favorable for stuff to come into our system. That's probably why this is not moving. Okay? The angle that it's hitting us is not favorable to let that stuff come on in. I am a bit confused though about this. I have to admit. I don't know what's going on with that. That's almost like a reverse, like X-rays like dropping out. I wonder if that's a tool flaw, but I don't know. So we look at the auroras, guys, and again, this is showing activity because this is a little bit elevated. Now, this is the dark side, right? So what's getting hit right now from the sun is over here. But obviously, you're typically going to see the auroras at night. That's why this is showing up here like this. But that is kind of showing a little bit of activity, a little bit of space weather impacting us. And I'll take you over and show you the Magnetosphere models here in just a second. I'm gonna run this time lapse real quick. So if we go here, this is where we should start because this is historic. It'll show us the latest capture, and then it goes backwards. Okay? So last night I showed you guys this, right? Remember? See how the auroras were getting down into the Dakotas and Montana and Minnesota and all that? Those are some pretty good intense auroras that was happening. So, but right now, you know, if I take it all the way over here, we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if we get impacted some more. I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to get into any kind of storm level. I think that event is done. So with that being said, the current stuff, I don't think we're going to be getting hit with it. Now we could, and the reason why I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, because if it left the sun when we seen it leave the sun, and it took it 4 to 5 days to get here, that means that it's not going to be that strong. Because the stronger ones get here in like 2 to 3 days. So if it's going to take it that long to get here, that means it's not moving that fast, which decreases the chance of it being powerful. So take that for what it's worth. Magnetopause models. Sun's off to the left here. Let's go ahead and just get these things playing real quick. And again, what you're going to see here is this is just speed. Sun's on the left. This is the Earth, obviously. And as you can tell, the speed's up a little bit, but nothing's really fluctuating. It's staying pretty consistently like smooth. You see a little jolt right there, but not much. Density. Okay, you guys see that? Now I want to explain to you guys what happened right there. You see this? Now, if you're looking at this right here, this would make people think that the bow shock isn't there, right? What's the bow shock? It's the point where solar wind meets our magnetic field. It's our first line of defense. Okay? So, to look at this, it would look like it's gone, right? But this is a way that you can show people that it's not. See that? Okay, if you just went by this one capture, nothing's there, right? Well, it is there. You just can't see it. See? What's happened there is, right here, on this side of the bow shock and on this side of the bow shock, the density is the same. Now, when that density changes, like this, it shows up. You see that? So, yeah. That's what I would say, That helps people understand that. And the reason why this material is probably less dense is probably because it's moving faster. Faster solar wind is typically less dense. And so you see how it goes like that, and it kind of blew everything away there a little bit, and then it kind of went back to some denser signatures there. This is pressure. We're getting a little bit of bumping around, but nothing huge. Okay? We'll come back to that. Alright, here's the other magnetopause models. Let me pause these sun models first. Okay, again, the sun's off to the right on these. Let me just say that. I'll bring these up full screen. Okay, this is a solar wind map, which will show you direction of the solar wind. Okay, again, the sun's off to the right, and I'm just not seeing a whole lot of, we're seeing some stuff, obviously, like right there, and we can expect that when we're getting solar wind stream or any kind of CME or flaring or any of that stuff, right? Also, I want to explain something real quick. I get asked an awful lot. What kind of distance are we talking about here? As far as relation to what's out there in space. This is the Earth, right? Okay, you see this little, asterisk? In this little, diamond shape? If you go up here, that's supposed to be representing GOES 14. And, what's the square, the diamond one? I forget. Oh, it's not on there right now. I can't remember which one that is. But anyway, it's a satellite, okay? That's the position of the satellites. Now, what's the RE mean? That's Earth radius. So, to understand distance, you need to know the radius of the Earth. Basically, half the size of the Earth at the equator. Alright? So what we're looking at here, all you got to do is know the distance that's half the size of the Earth, or from where you're standing to the Earth's core, okay? And you times that by 20 40, 60, or 80. And that will give you distance. That'll tell you how far away you are. The moon hangs out about right around in here. Okay? So if you really want to know distance, that's what we're talking about here. So between about here, right here is about where the moon's at, roughly. Not exact, but it's roughly. This means Earth's radius. So if you want to do the math, you can do that. I don't too much concern myself with that a whole lot, because it just, unless something really big is happening, it really just doesn't matter a whole lot with what we talk about. But sometimes it does, and that's why I'm addressing it, so people understand the distance here. Now, I know it says RE. Some other maps you'll go to, it'll say ER, but it means the same thing. It's Earth radius. That's the dimension they're using. So you just take that Earth radius, I think it's like, I can't remember how many thousands of miles it is. Well, hey, I'll just do it real quick. Hold on. Okay, you're looking at 3,958 miles. Alright, roughly 4,000 miles. So if you take that number right there, and you times it by these numbers here, that'll give you distance. That's how far out you are. So yeah, 6,321 kilometers. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you know what Earth radius is, hey Karen, what's up? You can figure out the distance if you really want to know the distance that we're talking about here. So this graph here, guys, isn't showing us much behind the moon. So we're really not looking out that far. So I want you guys to understand that. We don't know what's going on back here. We can't. We don't have anything to show us. So I really hope that helps people understand what's going on. I get asked that question a lot. I've explained that before. It's just I don't explain it all the time. Maybe I should, but anyway. So you got that, and that's going on. So let's go look at the other one real quick. We'll take a look at this one. This is our Magnetosphere. Again, they're using Earth radius. This is the satellite line right here. You can see us taking little blasts every once in a while there, and that's to be expected. So we take a hit in the front, and this is how we react. And that's actually pretty normal. That one was. Now, watch this, okay? See how we got compressed because we got hit? So we get compressed, and then we rapidly expand back out because we win that fight for a minute. Yeah, kind of does, doesn't it? Get compressed again because we got hit again. And then there you go. That's where we're at right now. Now, this one here is the lines of magnetism. This is really the only graph where you're going to see that shows lines of magnetism. You don't get this anywhere else. And yeah, this model is older than most of them, but this is the most that we can get. I mean, and what I suggest people do, if they really want to know and they really want to dig into this and have a really deep understanding of what we're actually looking at here, you need to skip the models and go straight to the data. And if you can understand what the data is talking about, then you'll understand why these models look the way that they do. And that's what I try to do. I can't do deep dives every video. If I did that, we wouldn't have anything else to talk about. We couldn't. We wouldn't have the time. But I try to explain it a little at a time. But I suggest people really look at the data before they look at this. Because the data is really where it's at. Where do you think the model's getting its information from? This model is showing you its interpretation of that data. Really, Nathan? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I'm telling you guys, there's going to be a lot of fallout from all this. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to stop. But anyway, regardless of what anybody says, our country looks ridiculous right now. Just saying. Okay. Why are the planetary lines splitting in two? Okay. That's a great question, Candace. This is what she's talking about here, guys. This is the interplanetary magnetic field lines. That's our connection with the sun and other celestial objects. Magnetically, that can be broken, and that's exactly what you're seeing. We're getting hit in the front. And the energy is moving from right to left, which is exactly what it should do. And you're going to see, in a perfect world, those would be connected. Kind of like right here. They would be straight up and down, all the way down through here. But it's magnetics. So when something like a charged particle, which is what solar wind and CMEs and stuff are, it has a charge. So it affects the magnetics. And that line gets broken for a short period of time. So right there you can see how they're kind of connected. And then watch what happens. It's like somebody standing at the top of a ladder, and the top rung breaks, and it breaks every rung all the way down. See that? So that's kind of what's happening there. Our magnetic connection kind of gets busted a little bit, but it's not, this is something that we see all the time. But that's a great question. And the simple answer is that there's other magnetic conditions that are hitting our magnetosphere, causing those lines to break for a short period of time. So that's why. What percentage is a magnetic field? Steve, it's about 25% weaker than what it used to be. And I would have to go look at the number itself to see how strong it actually is. But all I can confidently tell you that it's an accepted thing across the board, even mainstream. They know that our magnetic field is weakening, and it's weakened by about 25% at this time. What's causing it? That's where the big arguments come into play. Who knows? We all have our ideas, and we have our data that we look at, and we all have what we think is causing it. But at the end of the day, my opinion on that is that it's everything. It's all of that. Not just one person's opinion, it's all of it. Everybody's opinion matters when we're talking about stuff like that. Okay, so the sun right here. I want to show you guys this because I guarantee you somebody else out here again is going to come out here and make some kind of crazy claim about this. This right here is SDO. This satellite sits out in front of the Earth. Okay, and it looks at the sun. It orbits with us around the sun. Always looking at the sun. It's about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. Alright? So what happened last night, and I was watching this, the satellite got bumped. Okay? You probably ask yourself, how does the satellite get bumped? Well, charged particles. Any kind of solar wind, any of that kind of stuff, plasma, it can hit those satellites. The satellites do not have the magnetic field that we do to protect it. It has no protection out there. So, that's cool. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. But yeah, guys, please come back and watch Mark's channel tonight, too. He's going to be talking about it, too. And, obviously he does a lot of the positivity stuff, too. But it's called Real Talk for a reason. And so, but I do want everybody to understand that, yes, especially, Wayne will stay on stream for like 8 hours. And he's just trying to get all the news and stuff out, let everybody, do that kind of thing. But I think he does a great job. So I appreciate you going over there and checking him out. Anyway, watch this. Okay, we got hit. So what's going on here? You seeing this? That right there is a recalibration roll. Okay? Let me show you something. I forgot to have this pulled up. Sorry. During a GO1 storm, okay, like say that was actually to hit Earth, what are one of the things that can happen? Minor impact on satellite operations is possible. Okay, so that's solar wind. Solar weather can cause that. So when the solar wind hit this, it caused the satellite to jolt a little bit, most likely. So it had to find its home again. So they put it into a recalibration roll, and that's what this is. It's finding home. Anybody that's ever worked on a machine knows what that is. It's got to know its home to be able to operate correct and know what direction we're looking. So don't think that that's anything other than what I just said, because it happens all the time. Matter of fact, they will initiate that as a maintenance thing too. It doesn't have to get bumped for any of that. They will 100%, do that just to keep things moving. So yeah. R2D2. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, so here is the CME. I gotta let this thing load, sorry. I seen this last night. I almost came on this morning and was going to talk about it, but I kind of waited because I didn't have a whole lot of the data yet. So what you're seeing here definitely is another coronal mass ejection. This was a decent sized one. Obviously the next question is, was it coming at us? Well, let's try to figure that out. So we know that when we look at this, this is from our view. This is on LASCO C2. It's also right in front of us looking at the sun. So it's our viewpoint. So anything that's going to the right, we don't know. We don't have depth here. We don't know if it's coming this way, going that way, or if it's going directly to the right, or if it's coming right at us. You just cannot tell. Everything will look as though it's going to the right. Whatever comes off of this half of the sun is going to look like it's going to the right, no matter what you do. So we go look at a different perspective, which is stereo A. And what do we get here? The satellite's here, okay? And then Earth is over here. It's a side view of the sun. This looks like it's going to the right. So with this looking like it's going to the right, and this looks, well, wrong one. And this one looks like it's going to the right. We can confidently say that it's not going off the back side of the sun. We know that it's not going away from Earth. Okay, we know that. Now, as far as like up and down and north, south, all that, how do we tell that? Well, really the only thing we can do at this point, because we don't have another perspective to look at, we have to go to the CME tracker and hope that it updates. Okay? And it did. So what we're looking at here, this is that CME. So if you're going to wonder if it's going to hit Earth, how do we know? Well, you got to know what we're looking at first as far as the model goes. And this is a top-down view of our inner solar system. This is Earth. This is the sun. Okay? This is stereo A. That's that side view I just showed you guys. And the other one from right in front of us is kind of sitting right there looking at the sun always. But this is a top-down view. This is a side view. This right here over here gives us depth in the sense that this line... Here, let me zoom in. This line right here is Earth's orbit around the sun. It's stretched out in a straight line. That's why you see stereo A here, and it's here. So what we look for here is the distortion. And you're seeing a little distortion right there at the Earth. Okay, it's going to be real close whether or not this thing gives us a glancing blow or not. What I will say is, it's not going to hit us right on the chin. This thing is going off at this angle. But it still does spread out, and it could possibly give us a glancing blow. So that's what I would say to that. Now, this does look to be a pretty sizable, intense CME. But I can't even give you all that information and be confident with what I'm saying, because it's still real early. So we're going to, we got a few days to look at this, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if we go back here to the Enlil model, remember this is a Space Weather Prediction Center, and this one here is actually the NASA tool. So they oftentimes disagree with each other. So we got to try to figure it out, Now what I'll say here is, we're right here in time, right? So this would be about the time that thing would be, kind of impacting us. Stereo A is right here. Stereo B, which is over here, which is the direction that CME's headed, it is taking an uptick. It's taking a hit right here. About midday on the 11th. So if we're going to catch a glancing blow from that thing, it will be around that time frame. So we're talking 4 or 5 days out. So yeah. Alright, earthquakes real quick. Guys, this is, yeah. We've got some pretty decent sized ones. We got a 5.5. We got a 6.1. A 5.8, a 6.2, a 5, 4.3, a 5.8, another one, 4.8, 4.9, 4s. These are all 4s. This one just happened here. That's a 2.8 in Oklahoma. That's probably fracking, just so you know. So let me change this to all magnitudes. That's when you're going to see the activity. Okay, so notice how we started seeing the swarming and stuff going on here. Also, guys, there is like volcanic activity going on too. So yeah. Yeah, guys, just let me reiterate on in my chat there, guys. Let me say this. I know I got a lot of new people probably in here a little bit. We can say what we need to say, and we can have our own opinions and voice that, as long as it's not personally attacking anybody, calling anybody names. You can't attack any other channels. I don't care who they are, whether I like them or not. But you can say whatever you want to about me. That's just my chat rules, guys. Also, if there is any kind of trolls that are in here listening to me, there probably is somewhere along the line. If I get followed to another channel and they pop in that chat, they get banned here too. I don't want to take any kind of baggage over to anybody's channel. It's not fair to them. So, just so you know. My chat is completely open other than that. My mods know this. And that's probably why Axe was saying that right there. So, that's, and we do the right thing, so yeah. Hey, Bonnie and Soul, how you doing? So yeah, I don't know what's I know chat you're in, so do you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody's okay in there, I just don't want people to attack each other. You can disagree, but it's okay to disagree about the ideas, but it's not okay to call somebody names. That's just, it just causes big issues sometimes. So I do appreciate that. Thanks, Nemesis. Appreciate that. But yeah, guys, yeah, and I know that everybody's mind is probably on what's going on, and I get it. Okay? Frankly, I'm kind of distracted by it myself. But I wanted to bring that out to you guys to give you an update on the solar storm that was supposed to be coming. And it really didn't. It almost got into storm level, but never really got there. Thanks, Joni. I appreciate that. And, but just, like I said, I know that people think that, my opinion is it's all related. At a certain level, it's all related. And I think that any of us that are, I don't know, I guess, I don't want to call it red pill because I really don't like that analogy. Because I think that's even got some stigma with it now. Oh, I know, Justin, you're good. You're good. And that's the thing, because there's reverse dogma and stuff going on now. We go so hard against quote unquote the man that sometimes we forget that sometimes there is some truth there, and we forget because we're pushing so hard, and that's just kind of what our fallback is because of what has been done to us in the past. So my goal is to kind of like get that wall gone in all directions and be able to see everything with a clear vision and maybe be able to see where we were right and where we were wrong and try to apply it to what we do in the future. And I think that that's something that a lot of people have forgotten to do. In order to go forward, you got to look behind you a little bit. You got to understand where you've made mistakes. But you also got to look behind you and find out where you went right and understand that. So, yeah. Why is the sun inactive? Could it be well, let me address that. Taylor asked, why is the sun inactive? Could it be grand solar minimum? First thing I would say is the sun really isn't inactive. Let me take you over here real quick and I'll show you something to kind of help you understand that. Oops, wrong one. Hold on. Okay, so what Taylor's talking about is the activity on the sun. And so when we're looking at this, we look at this sun right here, right? There are no sunspots on here, correct? But what just happened? We just had a pretty decent sized CME blow the heck off the sun. We had one blow off the back also. We had two of them, I think there was three of them in one day. So the sun really isn't inactive. As a matter of fact, let me show you this real quick. If you look at this, just going off of what this is here, guys, this is each year, and it tells you how many days there were sunspots facing the sun. That's all that it says. It's not telling you how many flares there were. It's not telling you how many sunspots were on the other side of the sun. None of that. This is just what they do when they go trying to figure out the sun cycle itself. But what I will say is we had a 20% increase in activity. I won't say activity. We had a 20% increase in the days that we had sunspots facing us from 2019 to 2020. If you compare those same 2 years in the last solar cycle, there was only a 2% increase. So, sunspots facing Earth is what I meant. So, if there's sunspots on the sun facing Earth, that's what this is. This is all that's telling you right here. Now, the activity on the sun, that term grand solar minimum is not what happened. We're coming out of a solar minimum already, and we did not get into anything close to a grand solar minimum. The activity did not get that low. If you compare the activity from this past sun cycle to all the ones behind us that's happened already, it wasn't anything hardly any different. So what we should be looking for is the next sun cycle when we start getting into solar minimum there, if it possibly could go into the grand solar minimum then. And then the next sun cycle. Some people are predicting it for this next sun cycle. Some of them are predicting it for 2 sun cycles later. All that. But what I can confidently tell you is, by the data, we did not, absolutely did not get into a grand solar minimum. We still had all kinds of activity on the sun. Hey, good to see you, totally. So that's one thing we did not do. We did not get into grand solar minimum. Hey, Ricky, what's up? Good to see you. So I hope that helps answer your question there, Taylor. You know, because we had a lot of stuff going on. Our activity did go down, but that's to be expected in a minimal year. Anyway, it's going to. That's the natural cycle. But what we look for is when it goes past, gets down deeper into a minimum than what we would have expected to see normally. So yeah, is there any sunspots behind the sun? We can kind of see the ones on the side, Taylor, but we don't have anything on the back side of the sun to look at. We don't have any we don't get to see that data if they have it. When did that happen, Ricky? Hey, George, what's up, bud? Oh, this afternoon? Okay. Okay. So it's not like something that just happened. All right. Oh, well, look here. Look, guys. They canceled the geomagnetic storm watch. Imagine that. But yeah, here's the auroras. Look at that. I mean, look, that's just awesome stuff right there. We'll get that full view. Look at that. That would be so cool, just standing on the ground looking up at that. That would be awesome. So awesome. Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, that is what it is, you know. But what I want to do here, guys, is one more time, I want to, let's do this real quick. Well, let me do that real quick first. Let's go here. Guys, here's my PayPal. If you guys want to help me out, there it is. I promised everybody I'd put it in the chat once or twice a video. There it is. It is appreciated. Not expected, but it's very much appreciated. Just let me say. Okay? I do appreciate it. So, with all that being said, I want to show you guys. Let's go over here. I'm going to put his link down here in the chat again. You guys need to go over here and check him out, okay? He does an awesome job. You guys want to, you know, just something other than mainstream. He does a lot of live streaming. It's a Watch with Wayne. Go over and check him out. I've not talked to him, but from what I see from his channel, he does. I mean, he seems very genuine. He's really dedicated to what he's doing. And also, let me say this too. Let me go back here. We always got to go over here and support our boy Mark. We know that, right? So what I'll do here is I'll share his. And if you guys don't know who Mark is, he's all about positivity. You're not going to get negativity over here. We're a family over there. We go over there, we laugh. He does celebrity impersonations, face swaps. He's an awesome musician. He's a father of 3. Awesome dude. Okay? Anybody that hasn't been over here to Mark Pyre's Real Talk needs to get over there, because it most certainly, it'll help you just get rid of all the negativity. It really will. So yeah. So I just want, you know, I want everybody to understand that there's outlets we can go do. We come over here to Mark's channel, we hang out, we laugh, we listen to music. He was VH1 finalist Song of the Year back in 2000. I can't remember exactly what year it was. I want to say 2008, maybe 2003, something like that. But he had a pretty good record deal in front of him, and he decided not to sign it. And you know, he invented this beat seat. He set a patent on that. It's a percussion instrument that he plays with his feet while he can still, it's for guitarists that can, you know, he can still basically be a one-man band. But he's got a patent on that. They're nice looking and they're comfortable. I will say that. So you know, he makes these himself. He's got a manufacturer that helps him do it too. So yeah. Yes, Robert. I showed those Aurora over there at spaceweather.com. It most certainly is. Yeah. That is the Auroras were great. Here we are. We'll look at the Auroras one more time. Right there, guys. This is awesome. What's talking about here? So, solar prominence, guys. Basically, all solar prominence is something that it's just an active area on the sun. It doesn't really have sunspots, but it's active, very active. Careful out there. All right, guys. So we got 14 fireballs. Also, the noctilucent clouds. If you guys don't know what those are, noctilucent clouds is water vapor on the poles that gets so high up in the atmosphere it freezes around meteor dust, and it makes these clouds look blue and like metallic looking. They only happen down here. There's a season, and it's in the summertime for each hemisphere. This year they were 2 weeks late, a little over 2 weeks late. So that's actually an issue, because it does point to the fact that we stayed colder longer down here. So, you know, we'll have to keep an eye on that. It's just another marker we can look at to say, hey, things are changing. This is the near-Earth objects. The LD, lunar distance. Okay, that's the distance they're using here. And when they see it, they post it. And it looks like, you know, everything's on the up and up right now. They might have added that one. But when they see it, they will post it here. But if you look over here on the years, that's the year it was discovered. So you can see here, this one wasn't discovered till 2021. 2021. I mean, most of these are going to be like that. Okay? That's just what happens. So, yeah. So, yeah, guys. So, go check out Mark tonight. He's going to be going live. I'm going to be heading over that way, too, when he goes live. But check out Mark. Check out Wayne. Watch with Wayne. You know, like I said, I'm pretty new to Wayne's channel. But I've been watching for a couple weeks. And, you know, just trying to get a feel. And I really enjoy his show. And he seems very genuine. And that's why I'm pushing people over there. I won't do... You know, I'm not going to suggest for you guys to go check out a channel that I've seen one time. It's just not going to happen. So, that's cool, totally. I appreciate it. I hope you come back. I really do. I appreciate anybody in here that's just trying to help me out, trying to help Mark out. I think it's important. Axe's channel also. Ricky's got a channel. Guys, I mean, we got to support each other. If we don't, you know, we might as well just throw in the towel, because that's just what it's going to have to be. You know, Mark's now getting off the floor here. Wayne's getting off the floor. He's got 15,000 subs. I think he jumped like 1,000 subs yesterday. That's awesome. He's trying to help out the mother of his children, too. She's got a channel. He sacrificed his live stream to stream on her channel yesterday. Just trying to get watch hours up so she can monetize the channel. We got to support people that are doing that. We really do. But anyway, guys, I am going to pop out of here. if anything else, space weather happens, I'll pop on and give you guys an update. But other than that, I get that everybody's going to be distracted on what's going on. Okay? Matter of fact, I don't even want to take away from that because people need to be paying attention. So